My name is Mandy and I have a long ass wish list that I cannot pursue because I don't have the funds for it. Because sadly, I have no job right now. I'm unemployed. Oh! Yeah, I have no income, so basically I can't buy anything. So I've just been writing it down so there's some outlet that I can express my love for clothes. So basically, these are my wish list. As I was writing my wish list, I realized that my general, things that I want are very regal look with a mix of 2010s. Some fashion inspirations are like Olivia Haley, Susie Lola, Sierra O'Connell. I don't think I'm saying it right. But anyways, fab women who are, very into not a vintage look, but there's definitely like a timelessness in it, in a sense where it's also very funky and whimsy, and they're all from different countries, which is I find very interesting. One is from England, one is from America, and then one is from Sweden. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting that I've gathered these people from across the globe, and they all have pretty not similar, but a similar vibe going on, which is what I want to be. And what I've concluded as well is my final form is literally Effie from the Hunger Games. I want to be that big. I want to be that person that overdress at every event, but not overdress where it's like, oh, you're overdressed. Actually, you're never overdressed, by the way. You're never overdressed for an event. Everyone's just underdressed. But the way I want to be overdressed is like, she stands out in a crowd. Good or bad, I don't care. I just want to stand out. So yeah, I love attention. Anyways, let's get started with the first thing, which is shoulder covers. I love shoulder covers, and I feel like that has to do with taking inspiration from like those 80s shoulder pad kind of shoulder movement type thing, where like the shoulder was a very bold statement, where it's very sharp, very rigid. But in my case, it's more like different materials, different shapes and sizes, still that kind of bold look, but with different forms. So one of them was feathers. I think feathers in general are pretty cool now. People have been like putting feathers on everything. I think feathers in general as a material is something that is going to be very trendy in the coming months. They've been putting it as like an accessory, as a brooch, as a headband. I've been seeing it on makeup looks. Like it's gonna be everywhere. And for me, I want it as a shoulder pad, like fanned out feathers as a shoulder pad where it literally just looks like wings. Because I want to be an angel. Yeah, feathers are really cool. I think they just add this softness that I very much like in my style. The thing with feathers though is that they tend to be very flimsy when they're accessible because they are poorly made. They're made out of plastic. So when it comes to more high quality or even real ones, they're hard to come by, expensive, animal cruelty, stuff like that. It's just, if you want to source them, it's just very similar to like fur, where it's better to source it vintage or something that's already pre-made so that you're not like literally burning the environment. And another thing is also tassels. I think it's very similar in the sense that they're both very different mediums that can be put on shoulders and you look cool as hell. Like, do I need to explain? I feel like tassels, it goes along with the whole indie sleaze boho chic kind of vibe, and like, why not put it on the shoulder, especially hanging off like one of those I don't know what they're called, but the thing that like you fold up, and it used to be used to like hold up like bags and gun holders, but the tassels coming off of that, sick. I think a lot of military jackets, they kind of already do that. When you buy a military jacket that's a bit more decorated, it will come with that as well, and I think that's sick. Bum rolls, bunny tails. This has been quite new, but on my radar recently. This is also a lot more avant-garde than all my other suggestions, because basically, if you don't know what it is, it's that little puff on Victorian dresses. If you see a little like period dramas, they have that little like an artificial BBL where it's all made out of just fabric, right? But recently I've been seeing it on like artists. Like Pink Pantheress has been wearing on tour, where she ties this kind of puff on the backside. And then Slater has also been doing it. I've been loving Slater. She's actually so cool. But anyways, yeah, I think she's worn it like once or twice. It's a very cool look. I think it goes hand in hand with, some people wear their jackets around their waist in a very chic way. And I think having a bum roll, or I found another name, which is bunny tails. That's it. Bum rolls is like the actual name. Bunny tails is the more modernized name. I think just having that gives a more funky, again, whimsy type look where it's not just like a jacket. Like, jacket tends to be a bit boring, especially when you're wearing a jacket that's just to cover. I think bum rolls are a bit more out there. It's very similar to like a skirt over pants, but cooler, obviously, because you're more out there and it's much more unique. And speaking about unique, hat accessories, but especially those veil hat accessories. I think veil hats are really cool. I've been really loving them, even though I don't own any, but I think I'm gonna start keeping my eye out for them. I also feel like they're very easy to DIY. Basically, the reason why I like them is that they give us this kind of keyword chic. They give this kind of very posh look, but I think that's also why a lot of people aren't embracing veil hats, because they're only worn in like formal events or you're just literally posh in general. But I think I like that type of look, coming back to I want that kind of regal look, I want to wear a veil to the shopping center, because how cool will I look? People might think I'm crazy, but I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, veil hats. I think they give this kind of I don't care vibe that, sunglasses also give. Sunglasses indoors, even though sunglasses indoor can kind of tread on the line of you're a bitch and also you're like cunty. Hair clasp. Metal hair clasp is also something that I very much love now. And when I say very much love now, I mean for like a week, because I saw them in this Instagram post of someone giving tutorials about different ways to use a hair clasp, and her one was this huge tortoiseshell clasp, but I particularly want something that's a bit not brown. So I was thinking metal gray. How more neutral can you get without being like completely boring? Especially those ones with like flowers printed on it, engraved on it. I think those are perfect. They're so classy and they're so subtle, but also when you look at it, it looks cool. And they tend to be vintage, or at least you can get vintage ones, which I think are really adds to the coolness because there's a story behind it. The only thing is that like every other hair pieces, they tend to rust if they're metal, but that's just something you deal with. Beauty's pain. But yeah, I think, I'm wearing a bun right now, basically, but stuff like this look really cool. Except I do need to cut the front of my hair because they're kind of giving oil on these strands from how long and thick they are. I am getting trimmed. Don't worry, guys. I am getting trimmed. Bolo ties, bolos. I want that country look. I think this also goes with the boho chic type vibe where it's very Chloe, very Isabella Marant, very cowboy, very Brokeback Mountain, very gay people. I just think they look cool. I think that the elevated version of a tie. So if you have a clothing that you think would suit ties, like a button up, wear a bolo tie. You would look sexy as hell. I think bolo ties, especially when you've chosen out a charm, like those charms on a bolo tie. If you picked out something that's really unique, your whole outfit, it bumps up. Like you could wear a jean and a button up bolo tie. I get it. The only thing is that they're kind of expensive. I tried to look for them on Facebook Marketplace, but they're kind of expensive because they are hard to come around, especially somewhere like Australia, where that kind of country is not as prevalent. I also think you should, if you are gonna invest in one, you should like actually invest in a good quality one, because I truly think you only need like one. You don't need like a whole set of charms to switch out every single day, because at the end of the day, they're all just silver. There might be gold, but they're all metal. You don't need like 10. You need one if you are gonna embrace it. I need one, but I am willing to spend, but on the one that I'm perfectly fine with. Like everything has to be perfect. Crop jackets, this thing has been on my list for a while because, again, referring back to my inspo, especially Olivia Haley, Miss Olivia, she is killing it with the crop jackets. I think crop jackets comes back to the whole style, the whole trend of just layering. Layering has been huge this year. This is also this other creator that her whole style is kind of layering, and she is my, kind of go-to when I want inspiration with that. And she has some crop jackets, and I think that's just the sign to say that, crop jackets are a staple piece that everyone needs, or at least I need it, because I don't really have that many jackets in general. So I don't know, like, I need to do something about it and add a crop jacket in as well. I think because it's cropped, it allows the underclothes that you're wearing, like a t-shirt, to stand out. So you don't have to, boreify the underneath. That's not a word. You don't have to make your undergarments kind of boring. You can wear something interesting, but then also jack on top. Especially those jackets with puffy sleeves. This comes straight back to Miss Olivia. She has this specific outfit that I've seen, which I fell in love with. It is this crop jacket on this long shirt, and she's wearing it with a black skirt, and it's glorious. Especially that photo that she took where she's running. She is my manic pixie dream girl, the dream girl that I cannot get or be. But yeah, that jacket she has where it's puffy sleeves, I think it very much comes back to that regal look. Oh my god, keyword. That kind of look that I really, really love. And I need to stop bending down because my neck is shrinking. But yeah, anyways, puffy jackets, cool. I think anything with puffy sleeves are sick. Sleeves aren't something that are experimented as much as they can be, because they're always going to be there, or at least most of the time. You can cut them off, you can have them, but they're going to be there. The idea of a sleeve is going to be there. You always have to consider what the sleeve is, and why not make a puffy? This year, literally, my goal is to find a crop jacket and plus one if it has puffy sleeves. But I don't know if I'm brave enough for it, but also, what am I scared for? Truly, what am I scared? V-neck tops and see-through tops. I've already talked about this in my other video, but I think I need to reinstate it to just further manifest my need for it. Hopefully, I come across some. The intimissimi, you know what I'm talking about. The intimissimi tops that everyone has. And I think the whole idea of those two type of tops, the v-necks and the see-throughs, are that it shows off your bra. I think it's very sexy. I want to be that, and so I'm looking for pieces with those characteristics. That also forces me to wear funky bras. So honestly, funky bras are also a big thing on my list, but I think I want to be very particular about it as well, where every single bra I buy are completely different from each other. Right now, the most interesting I have is a lace bra, which is okay, but it's I could do better. And bras are something you're gonna wear for the rest of your life, because you can, and I will. I mean, I could go topless, but I think for now, I'm gonna find cool bras. Tall Ugg boots. I think just Ugg boots in general, everyone should have one. And tall Ugg boots are probably the silhouette that is the most functional. I don't know, versatile. I think tall Ugg boots are the most versatile because not only can you fold down to make it shorter, you can fold up to make it longer, to put your pants in, and they have a little zipper because obviously it's long. It's just easier to get your foot in if there is a zipper, and basically you can just open it up, so it's kind of especially if you have bigger calves or you want bigger calf opening on your boots, just open a bit of the button up, the zipper, whatever you have on your Uggs, and that's a whole different boot. So you got a few boot in one, and just Ugg boots are so comfortable. I think everyone should have an Ugg boot. I recently bought some from the Blue Mountain Boot Ugg Boot company. They're located in the Western Sydney area, and perfect. These are my second boots that I bought from them, because previously I bought the short ones. I don't know why I did, because the more I think about it, I'm the long ones do what the short ones does, but with less money, obviously, because I wouldn't be buying two boots. I would just be wearing one. But I already bought it, and I love the short ones. I wear them to death, and the long ones are just because obviously you can't extend the short ones, you can shorten the long ones, so it's okay, the long ones are pretty worth it. Firkins, I've been on my grind because basically I figured out a way to buy clothes overseas and then ship them to my hotel. You best believe I have been searching Firkins every single day, and they are so hard to find because I don't know if it's like the country is really trendy or something. I'm very on top of it, but every single one I've seen sold out. And I want a firkin as a school bag because right now I'm wearing this backpack with holes in the bottom. So basically I'm gonna obviously keep the backpack until I literally cannot hold anything in it anymore, and then use the firkin instead. And also like firkins, I feel like I don't have to just bring it to school. I can wear it everywhere else because it's just one of those bags that are very functional, and I want a big one as well so that I can carry literally everything. It can literally be my airport bag, something functional like that. And firkins are just, I think it's the idea that it's fake and it brings this kind of messy vibe that makes it so popular. There's this brand called Aminomio. I'll put them up. But anyways, they've been pumping out firkins after firkins. They're sourcing crazy. There's also this other company called The Mob Leather, which sells this bag called Alicia Structured Bag. Gorgeous, because their leather, like everything is new. Ammonia is not. They're secondhand. But the Leather Mob is all new, but the leather is like already very worn, very relaxed. So it gives that kind of on the go kind of vibe, you know, because I know like the Birkin lookers tend to be very structured because usually a real Birkin, you wouldn't tend to use it because a lot of people do keep it as an investment piece or just don't want to ruin it. But I think with Firkins, it's just, it gives that kind of Jane Birkin vibe. You know, if you know, you know, that kind of, you know, you go out, you don't care kind of vibe. But love it. Love it. I keep saying vibe. I find it so. There's also this other brand called Giorgio Brado. Giorgio Brado, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically they also make firkins, but I think their firkins are now all vintage because they released it in 2000s. Not made anymore, I don't think so. But I mean, everyone that I've come across secondhand, and I think that what makes them so special, or their version of a firkin, is that they have stars on it. You have probably seen it if you've stumbled across big bags or even you like firkins already. Yeah, but they're very hard to find. Like I went on the secondhand site, 1K. Are you serious? I think people have been getting the idea that because it looks like a Birkin, you sell it like a Birkin. No. I think they were very likely selling it for like $200 max. Okay, maybe not $200, like $400 max. That should be the highest you're selling it. New price, original price, or nothing, because it's worn. That is the whole point of selling it secondhand, is that you calm down a bit with the price. So I am keeping an eye out if I do see a Giorgio Brado bag, but obviously like it comes and it goes. Like it's not, you know, a thing. It's more of a statement piece. So I'm not angry if I don't find one, but also if you do buy it, it's really cool. I think it's just a cool girl bag. No, not lastly. This is second last. This is not even fashion, it's more beauty, but dotted nails. Nails with dot designs are really cool. I think I just like dots in general, coming off of the polka dot kind of trend. But these dotted nails are more used as like a line alternative, where they used to draw things, but dots, obviously. So it gives this kind of like, ooh, kind of vibe. I don't know how to explain it. Except I don't do my nails. I keep them pretty clean because I don't like long nails. I actually need to cut them very soon. So those are cool. If you're looking out for kind of cool designs, I think dotted nails just in general, get them. They look pretty sick. And lastly, I thought I should add this, even though I'm not exactly looking for it, but I have seen it come about and I think it will be pretty popular. I think they're pretty cool in general. Maybe I will learn to love it. But I have Spats. Those Victorian boot covers, Spats. I think they're really cool. I think the idea that they cover boots and cover shoes to keep your ankles clean or something like that. But anyways, I think they're pretty cool because they kind of turn any shoe into a kind of boot. I love boots. I just don't have that many. So obviously I don't wear them as often. But I think because they're made of cloth, they're also much more comfy than boots. Because sometimes boots, they can scrape a bit, leave like blisters and stuff stuff like that. So I think this is a great alternative if you want that look but don't want the material. I think it also keeps your shoe clean, but also you look fab in it. So it's like you got like a 10 in one. But yeah, they're pretty cool, especially those vintage ones. They're very like well constructed. And yeah, that's my list. I don't know what else to say. Like I don't want to say too much because I've been trying to like keep it down as well, my list, so that I'm not like fiending, like foaming to the mouth, wanting to shop. But yeah, that's it. Thanks guys for watching. Hopefully I have money soon. I'm manifesting. If you guys have any more cool suggestions, please let me know because I love being very open about clothes, and obviously I'm one person and I find everything on Pinterest, so like I'm not going very far with it. But yeah, thanks for watching and sorry for having the worst posture ever. I'll see you next time.